As days passes by, the much talked about and most anticipated FIFA World Cup in Brazil is drawing closer and closer. It's now 56 days to the D-Day, and we on HIT continue a countdown to Brazil 2014. Today we shall look at the Group E, which consists of Switzerland, Ecuador, France, and Honduras. Switzerland. The Swiss national football team has contested the FIFA World Cup finals 9 times to date. On 3 occasions out of these 9 appearances, they've reached the last 8. However, their most recent appearance at the quarter-final stage came almost 50 years ago at the 1954 finals on their home soil. Well, that's a little bit of history about the Swiss team. Now let's check out the state of their current team ahead of the FIFA 2014 World Cup in Brazil. A look through the caliber of players that will represent Switzerland has been tested, tried and trusted to launch the Swiss team very far in the world's biggest event of the round letter game. There is undoubted quality throughout the side, starting with keeper Diego Bengalho. Also the combination of experienced players such as Tranquillo Baneta, Gonca Inla and Felipe Senderos, with highly talented young stars Xherdan Shaqiri, Fabian Schär, Granit Xhaka and Valentin Stoker have remarkable footballing records. They are definitely more than capable of making their mark at Brazil 2014. Ecuador. Ecuador is a South American nation that has been plagued with inconsistency. Ecuador's football team is nicknamed La Tricolor. Our debut appearance to FIFA World Cup was in Korea, Japan 2002, where the Ecuadorian team failed to pass their group stage. But in their second appearance in Germany 2006, La Tricolor went as far as the last 16. On the road to Brazil 2014, La Tricolor failed to show their best performance, but they qualified anyways. Having the World Cup being hosted on the South American continent, Ecuador should have a continental home advantage to go really far. La Tricolor will rely on an exciting new wave of players in the likes of wingers Antonio Valencia and Cristian Nobao, as well as forwards Felipe Casidio and Jefferson Montero to prove to other participating national football teams they encounter that there is nowhere like home. They will be complemented and guided by a handful of evergreen stalwarts with European experience such as Edison Mendes, Walter Ayovi and Segundo Castillo. France. France have always commanded respect on the global stage, although they've had their high points like winning the 1998 FIFA World Cup and downsides like exiting at the group stage 4 years later, as well as not winning a single game at the UEFA Euro 2008 or at the 2010 FIFA World Cup. In spite of what must have befallen the French team, also known as Le Bleu, football teams should note that they are always a tough nut to crack. The French sports terrain is ever churning out some of the most sought-after talents in the world's football leagues. Le Bleu's team going to Brazil 2014 has a formidable defense at the back. They consist of top-drawer goalkeepers in Hugo Lloris and Steve Mandanda, and a defense that has been strengthened by the European footballing experience of Eric Abidal, Laurent Koscielny, and Raphael Varane. Further forward, Franck Ribéry can produce moments of magic, while Karim Benzema and Oliver Giroud both possess a keen eye for goals. Honduras. Honduras made a World Cup return after an absence of almost 3 decades in South Africa 2010. Their group stage exit must have predicated the departure of coach Rinaldo Reuda, but whoever made that decision must have been justified, as the appointment of Luis Fernando Suarez in March 2011 brought stability to the Honduras football team. Suarez is committed to rejuvenating the full national team by giving it fresh impetus by drafting in a clutch of promising young stars. Now, the Honduras team has a player like Emilio Izaguirre that is strategically talented at the left back. He is complemented by captain and goalkeeper Noel Valderez. Wilson Palacios, one of the more recognizable faces of the Honduran football, playing for Stoke City, is also a crucial piece of the Honduran puzzle. The front line has an old hand in the person of Carlo Costley, who has been paired alongside rising star Jerry Bengtson, who burst on the international scene at London 2012. He was the top scorer with 9 goals during the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. These are the pieces of information we gathered about the national teams in the Group E of FIFA's Brazil 2014 World Cup. We'll continue on next editions of The Kick until World Cup begins.